Maryland except for Washington. And I think Baltimore City, even though we come behind Baltimore City, I don't know if they have their finances in order. I think they're spending more. And Up County is underperforming and underserved. And there's lots of improvement for, and you fill in the blank. I wrote new innovative ideas, but I should have just left blank and let you guys fill it in. Some ways to improve our school. I'll go quickly with this because I talked about what I thought were the policy problems. We need to increase rigor, better grading policies, better assessments. Teachers need more autonomy. They need more autonomy in their lesson planning, in when they teach what, and whether they need to go over something twice for a particular school, in how they want to assess, and in grading, so that they don't go by rubrics. I don't know if you know what a rubric is, but you have this thing, you go by this, and that tells you whether the kid's done well. What it does is it says this is acceptable mediocre performance, and there's no reason to do any better. And you get the highest grade you can possibly get just by doing a rubric. As opposed to writing something so good as an answer to why we have weather, that you get a higher grade than people who couldn't answer that. And it stops people from doing the thinking and the writing and the stuff. Curriculum, reduce reliance on top-down curriculum fixes. They take up so much time and energy from the teachers and the administration, and as any teacher will tell you, that's not what our problem is. Discipline and accommodating policies through better school culture and better classroom management. No one will ever, I'll go to my grave, no one will ever be able to convince me that you can't have high level of discipline anywhere with those two things. Schools are doing it all over the country. Classrooms are doing it all over the country. We'll talk about that. Teacher input on all the above policies. I won't get into MIRL, but teachers keep saying, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They do it. 2 years later, they stop doing it if they had just listened to the teachers. I don't know how this got into here, because this is shameless political promotion. MoCo, teachers deserve autonomy and respect. Maryland is ranked 49th in teacher satisfaction. I got this from the Maryland Education Association website, but it's from Education Week, so it's the National Education Association that polled a bunch of teachers, and we came in 49th. I'm not at all surprised. You reduce autonomy, you start reducing what makes a teacher a teacher. Well, let's give them a raise. I don't know anybody said I'm going into teaching because I want to make a lot of moolah. They go in because they have a calling. And when you start saying, teach this on Thursday this way, and we don't want you to get the final exam, they start taking away more and more autonomy, you start losing your best teachers. Some more things, improvement. Quotas, resources, cost control, improve education for all without quotas. We're going to talk about education reform in a little while. That's how that happens. Number 7 and number 8 put together. I want to give principals more autonomy. I'd like them to allocate students to the best teachers. What do you mean? If the best teachers more students? Yeah. Well, are they going to have to teach more classes? Okay. Well, that's not fair. Sure it is. If you then have merit pay and say, if you can do this because you're doing so well, we want you to teach more of our kids, here's more pay. Reduce school construction costs, reform the budget process. Very quickly with the budget process. The budget process is pretty much the teachers' union and school administrators getting together to carve up the money and to decide how much money to spend. Nobody in civics groups are invited. No parents are invited, no citizens commissions, and you can imagine what goes on there. That has to change, and I'll make sure that happens. Nick. For Upper County, they deserve magnet and IBB programs. That will not be a cure-all. Because it won't come close to what number 14 will do, because you still won't have enough seats, but at least bring something to Upper County. But we need to do better than that. One thing we could do is some education alternatives like P-TECH and Academy of Health Sciences. P-Tech, which is Pathways in Technology Early College High Schools. I don't even know what that means, so I'll call it P-Tech. We have 6 of them going on 12. 6 in Baltimore City, and now there's going to be 12. 6 more have been budgeted. These are 6-year programs where the kids do 3 things. They're going through their high school, they start taking college courses, and by the end of the 6th year, they can have an associate's degree. They can have, they'll of course graduate from high school, and they might have a job waiting for them because they're taught things that they can use for life. This started in Brooklyn. New York has gone from 40 to 60. There'll be 100 next year. They're in Colorado, Illinois, Connecticut, and one other place, I forgot. And we now have 12, which I think is great. We could do something like that. Academy of Health Sciences. Prince George's County now has the #1 high school according to proficiency and according to Home Digger. I forgot to read the Home Digger list. However, what is this? This is a program that starts with a bridge program in the summer of 8th to 9th year to get the kids ready. They're going to start taking college-level courses at Prince George's Community College Health Sciences Department. And at the end of 4 years, in their 12th year, all their courses are going to be college, and they're going to be able to use this to go to transfer to the community college or to any 4-year college. It's now has a 95% proficiency rating. Remember all those 30s and Matsunaga was at 72. That was our best, 95. Prince George's County, the second lowest performing school district in Maryland, and ranked #1 in Home Digger for high schools. Maybe we could do this with Montgomery Community College Bioscience Center. We need to think out of the box.